Behold my stuff. Hey folks, fWhip here, and welcome back to the hardcore Minecraft world. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a world tour video here for the second channel. Quite a lot of stuff has happened since we started the series out building this little starter house over here, and I know we've been flying forwards. 10 episodes in and day 677. So inside of here, this is my storage room, kitchen, and more storage room with barrels in the floor that are now full of stuff, and I really need to get an actual storage room sorted soon. Upstairs, I've just got my little bedroom spot over there and a room where we got our first buried treasure map. On the far side, across a little walkway of a bridge, we've got our enchanting setup right up here, ready to go with lapis and a bunch of books if I need them. And the real mess where all my stuff goes is this double chest up here, as I just throw all of the shulker boxes in there and I say I'm sorting them later, but I never do. Next up, we can wander down here to this structure, my mine entrance, which I really like. We've got a very cool front entryway right in here. We've got a jellycat on the inside. We've got an automated system for bringing items up out of the world, and they end up right here. Then I got a bunch of blast furnaces if I ever need to smelt down a bunch of raw iron or something like that. The minecart takes us down, but the best part is it stops at every single optimal layer for mining things. So I've literally just got dead power rails here, and once you're in the minecart, you press the button and you hold W looking in the direction you want to go. Now for the elevators that I have, there's just a bubble column from the bottom of the world all the way up. This has a little bit of a dropper action right in there, a double chest with hoppers that load into that, and then this is just a little dropper clock. I set one of those up on every single level, and I'm able to just bring everything up to the top, which is awesome because that means I can just keep mining for longer and longer periods of time and not worry about my inventory getting filled up. And apparently we have a music disc. Now I decided to do something kind of stupid and also get it out of the way because I love to build castles, and kind of a token is every world I build has a castle in it. So I decided episode 3, we're just gonna build a castle. And we ended up with this. It's a beginner castle for my level of building that I like to do. So I want to build a much bigger one here soon. Hashtag eventually, future fWhip problem. But I really like how this one turned out. For something where we had just gotten starter enchanted diamond gear, this thing turned out super duper well. Inside of the castle and the Great Hall in here, I plan to update the maps as we go. It's a little out of date, and I need to extend the map. Like this one needs to come over at least one more because the iron farm's right there. And then I worry I might need 2 more maps to include the new town that we built. So it's going to be a big boy, but I'll get that updated and moved over to here. Maybe for episode 11. That seems like a smart idea of, hey, episode 10 is done. Let's make a map to celebrate. But I really like this one, using a bunch of different materials like the concrete powder just to get variety in the gray tones that we have, the tough blocks, the deep slate, the cobble, everything else that you normally see in castles. I like it a lot. I know the bridge is chunky. Let's say chunky. And the legs are not so very much. I think for a fantasy perspective, I really like it, so I'm not planning on changing it. Now, after that, though, we can come down here into the cave. We're right underneath it, and yes, this is still the entrance I used to get down here. We have my villager trading hall, a dwarven village stuck into the side of a massive cave, and I love it so very much, and I can't wait to keep expanding this idea. The end goal is to have it stretching all the way around this entire cave and turn the bottom into a big lake of sorts. I think that's the way I'm gonna go. But all the villagers are sectioned out into their different homes. Like right in here, we have our newest one being all of our cleric villagers that I wanted for glowstone and ender pearl trades. They've got a cool little room in here for all of them, and I apparently never waxed the copper. That's okay. Underneath that, inside of here, we've got the villager breeder, where these two up here just make a bunch of babies, and I put all 4 of the beds in there because, well, it's overflowing. We don't need any more. The very cool part is, though, is that we just bring them out of there with minecart. They sit on here. I set their job. They come forward and say hi to Undead Sausage. And then we load 8 zombie villagers at a time into here, where I'm gonna turn these off and flip these levers down to reset the system. But this allows me to convert 8 villagers at once before moving them up, which is absolutely insane. Best part is at the cost of only 2 potions of weakness. That is a fake door and goes nowhere. And then inside of here, guess what? Fake door. But down here, we get the stonemasons, where they are hanging out down here. I need to trade with them some more to be able to get the quartz trades all the way at the end, so I'll have to do that here soon. Maybe I need an excuse to build out of a lot of bricks soon. But I really love that one. I love how they're all just stacked on top of each other. Glow squids die in here constantly. And then over here, Nope, that's meant to be open, I believe. But more importantly, inside we have all of our farmers that are all unlocked so I can get a bunch of golden carrot trades. A random little decorative tower here on the corner just adds more height into this lower level. Before I forget, and also before we go up to the upper layer, we recently built a giant netherwort farm, which occupies this corner over here using the glow berries from the top to actually light it up. So it should be mostly spawn proof. Let's fill those in. It's kind of a use at own risk situation down here. That being said, coming up to the next level, the most important room that we have, emerald generations, librarians, and cartographers. So what we do here is we buy all the glass, convert that into glass panes, then come over to these guys and just trade it right back to them for more emeralds. But we've got pretty much every book that you could ever need besides like trident and crossbow ones inside of this little room that loops all the way around here to the back. And I think I'm going to actually expand it another whole section coming back to here so we can get even more emeralds. It's that or I build a raid farm. And I haven't decided which. And I mean like a super raid farm. Like not our basic one that gets like 17 emeralds. One of the ones that gets like thousands. But we'll see. That sounds like a annoying project. This whole building right in here is a completely fake one. So that's super cool. And I didn't even finish the back wall. Wow. Look at me. Look at me go. Oh, I didn't even decorate the back. Wow. Okay. Yep. I guess if it wasn't in the thumbnail, it wasn't important. That being said, the zombie rail system actually connects all the way throughout here and goes up to an upper third level, or I can change it with a little lever right here to send it down into the librarians, or this goes up to where we have all of the toolsmiths. And future, I think I'm going to get like weaponsmiths and things up here too. We got our first full set of diamond gear up there with a bunch of gold blocks. And then inside, we have all of these guys hanging out over here where we are able to get diamond tools for 1 emerald. And it's pretty awesome. Oh, the prices are going up. I'll deal with that eventually. This is a project I want to come back to very soon and keep working on even more, but I'm so happy with it for now. The addition of moss into the game and the ability to just add greenery down in caves I love it. It's so fun. One building we walked by directly is a rather new one inside of the world, the sugarcane house, which I really want to spend some more time detailing and decorating the interior. So that'll probably be a stream project here soon. And I've got to fix up this room because the glowberries went crazy. But we've got enough sugarcane production down here to actually fuel me getting a bunch of rockets whenever I need them. So we've got 4 little quadrants and they're just working away forever. So eventually, once I stop actually using rockets like crazy, so probably never, those will all fill up and we'll be ready to go. Now over here, we've got our first village center of sorts that I made. We've got a giant animal barn, which used to house, whoa, somebody stole my door. Okay, zombies. All right, zombies. Okay, the sheep got out, the pigs got out. Oh man. Yep, they got back there. Okay. Yep, he just, back in the stall, please. Of all the doors a zombie could steal, these were probably the 2 worst of them. Okay, that's fixed for now. But I was gonna say, I really like this building. I think it turned out super cool with all the different roof shapes, and it was an experiment. And I want to take a lot of the things I learned from it and do it in some more buildings soon. We've got a little chicken coop down here so we can very slowly get eggs because I barely ever need them. So we don't need that quick of production, but we got the cows back here. And then we got our 2 puppos hanging out right over here. So we got Geo and we've got Sky, and they just look out over the beautiful valley. I've got a temporary super smelter here in the back, but that's kind of just chilling. But right here, we actually have our tool forge. I want to make something special for where I can make all my netherite armor at. And apparently I have a block of diamonds in here. So we've got a little forge set up for netherite crafting at the tool smithing table over there. Then we've got all of this cool stuff as a little outdoor workstation, bringing in a bunch of gold materials. We've got a stables right over here, so we've got ourselves a horse right in there, and we've got ourselves a donkey right up in there. Beautiful little well in the center, and all the way up here we've got a cool little house that is completely decorated. I'm really happy with how this one turned out. Eventually my goal is to decorate all of the houses, but we're building houses faster than I'm decorating them, so we will see. Down into the land of unending fields, we've got our first big farm that I think I made, being the moss farm in here, which is so very nice to have. So this guy produces all of the bone meal I could need, as well as producing all of the different moss blocks I can need. I've really loved working with the terrain that we have inside of this world instead of doing too much terraforming, well, until I built that. But I've been loving having these rolling hills and the fields cascading down them, which brings us over here into a very, very important building. As I've been working with copper like crazy, we have our greenhouse, and I've always got to put them inside of greenhouses, so we have our little bee farm over here. I need to come back in and get a lot more bees because the honey production is not as quick as I would hope. I guess we have a lot of overflow though. Now, right in here is another very important part of this world, as these little buildings are actually parts of automatic carrot farms in this one, and then the other one, we have an automated potato farm. So what these do is the villagers run around and gather up the crops, and then you can see right over in here, there's another villager hanging out right in there. But in that spruce block, there's actually a hopper minecart stuck in there. So when they try and throw the things over, it gets collected and they come down here. We've got a lot of potatoes. This was meant to turn into the storage room for them, so maybe I'll have to pipe the items over here soon and get that sorted. But for now, we are doing pretty good. Got a cool little granary tower here in the back that's just kind of hanging out doing its own thing. It is very empty, but lantern. Venturing down the hill, we've got a very cool spot here being a little sheep farm. I guess it's not that little. It's rather big, but we've got one of each sheep color down here, which is looking absolutely amazing to have. And I'm very, very happy I got this thing set up. So we get unlimited amounts of the wools, and it very slowly works, so I don't have to worry about it overflowing all that much. A lot of the farms I'm building right now are very single player focused, as I don't need too much excess in anything. Well, besides until we get to the ghast farm that I made, but that's a different story. I wanted to be insane there. But down here, we've got our fishing shack, which is very, very cool. We've got all this stuff. We got some boats hanging out, and then we've got this little spot in here. Before we jump into the town being the most recent thing I built, let's head over to spawn, where I have an awesome iron farm and a very cool story element to the world inside of this. If you remember on episode 1, we spawned right down about there, but world spawn is actually this entire section. So I wanted to build the iron farm right next to spawn so that it works all the time if this world's open, meaning we have a lot, and I mean a lot of iron as I look into empty chests. But I've got 4 double chests full, and the entire iron farm is that. That is the entire size of it. Zombie, villagers, iron golems happen. Now for the story element of this build, I like to build off of some lore and just kind of loose stuff happening in the world. So I've decided to introduce amethyst when combined with magenta glass up here as a form of like magical dormant power that just exists within the world. So it kind of took over the structure and brought it back to life, which is somehow causing the iron production to happen. I hope to do a lot more stuff like that in the future, of just explaining in our own weird way about why or how certain iron farms or just technical farms in general are able to work, and then also putting a very cool build around it. I don't really like leaving things as just, yep, you can tell that's very technical, kind of like how I did that guy, so I want to fix that here soon. A lot of people said a hot air balloon could work, and I don't really know if I want one right there because it'd be so low to the ground, but I'm trying to come up with an idea still. Over here, we've got a very cool gatehouse and custom bridge that I decided to randomly throw in so we could have a way across the water, and I'm really happy I did. It was a fun challenge, and I think the end result was very cool. So we've got a drawbridge idea in here, then that would get pulled up, and then these are chains kind of going back and forth. I don't know, it's Minecraft, just trust me. Just trust me on that. So this is where I started decorating the shoreline and actually got the idea of turning this into a town. So we've got this very highly detailed little shore down here, which I loosely brought around this entire way. I want to come back with another take on it and just do a second pass over and add some more details. But I'm really happy with the results so far. We've got a giant wheat field right out here that I planted at the end of last episode, being episode 10. And then we've got the town. The town is looking absolutely amazing. A bunch of very cool houses inside of here with a lot of interior space that needs to be decorated and is looking so absolutely amazing. I think I could also throw like a small well in right here. One thing that I'm not super happy with is there's just a lot of open space with the roads, and I think I need to find a way to fill them some more. So I think a well inside of there, and then maybe we do like some wagons or things being moved around, or maybe it's like there's actual just stuff happening, because I don't want to fill it with villagers, because then we have to worry about pillager raids all the time and really spawn proofing it so they don't die, but we'll figure out something. Now this area I probably showed off the most being the storage room, and I had to constantly come back here and get some more blocks, but we've got some very cool boats down here that were all contributed by members of my community, which is absolutely amazing. So we got this very cool one over here. We've got an oak one right over here. Then we've got a sandstone one, Out in the water, we've got kind of a birch and spruce one with some cool flag coloring going on in the mast. And then we've got this little guy over here, which I did expand quite a bit, and I want to come back in and tweak it a little bit more again, I think. Now, my absolute favorite part of this place has to be these structures that are all connected together here. So we got a stables building with the sandstone up there and a lot of space for some horses to be thrown in here soon. I mean, look how high the ceilings are in here. They'll never hit their heads. No, I just forgot the floor. Inside of here, this is meant to be like a tavern or an inn, and I left one of my beds in here just so I could have it on hand. Out in the front, we've got a little cobblestone house in there, and then we've got a bit of a workshop of sorts where they're trying to like build some wagons right over here that I want to come back in and just detail these some more, but I think that's going to be some stream-friendly stuff of just the finer details as I'm going, just a second take on things. And then also in the back over here, we've got 2 more houses just kind of hidden back here, which I really like. And another large workshop of sorts out here being, I think, a sail maker was the goal. So back in here, we've got a system where they're trying to like make a gray sail right now. So they unwoven wool or threads or whatever they're using right here and cloth, and then it's getting turned into the sail. It's coming over here and getting rolled back up, ready to be taken out to be attached to a boat. But I really like this one. The custom trees being added in and everything else from like, we've got this little awning here with the smooth red sandstone and the smooth quartz. I think it's just a really fun, unique way of adding to the swirl. I do also love the custom tree in the back. And then that kind of summarizes most of what happened inside of the town in a very, very quick overview. The last thing to check out is going to be in the Nether, to the only safe place in here, the Nether roof. After risking a lot to break through the Nether roof so we can actually get up here, I assembled an insanely massive ghast farm. There is absolutely no way I'm going to try and decorate this thing in the future because look at the size of this thing. It's a giant box. There's absolutely no way to decorate it. But if we were to fly up here, technically the best space is AFKing right here, but I don't like to have any chance of death. So I come in here and just block up the wall. But as of right now, we would see a bunch of ghast spawning and just getting so much loot inside of the overworld. I have more ghast tears and gunpowder than I will ever need already inside of this world, and it's so very cool. I never really build massive technical farms like this one, but it was a fun challenge, and I'm planning to turn the rest of the Nether roof into super technical land like that. So any other Nether farms you think I should build, let me know. I'm always looking for new ideas for stuff. And I'm actually very inspired to be doing some Nether stuff here soon. I mean, just check this thing out. I've only run it in total for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. And we've got 1 double chest, 2 double chests, and almost 3 and a lot of eggs. A lot of eggs. Holy cow, this produces more eggs than my actual egg farm over there in the chicken coop. I guess the entire time I was working on that, this was loaded in, so the chickens are laying eggs. Oh, that's gonna be funny. Now, the final element, I tried to create my own version of Stonehenge over here around a raid farm. The crazy part about it was I mob-proofed everything on the surface level with mossy carpets to the entire distance where a raid will spawn. So now they only spawn within this little bit. I want to come back in and add mossy carpet around here too and just kind of fill all of that stuff in, because my goal would be to get the raid to spawn literally on top of this, like somewhere inside of the ring of stones that we created. And I think if I just keep adding more mossy carpet, we could actually get there. But all I gotta do is get Bad Omen and run down here and we get all of the loot. And no, I'm not gonna take this emeralds. I'm full of eggs. There we have it though. 679 days survived inside of this world. I'm having an absolute blast inside of this one. And one last thing to show you. So let's take a look at the stats. I know some people like to see this sort of stuff, so I'll go ahead and scroll on through here and give you all a quick little glimpse at everything that's been happening. We are already almost at 6 full days of playtime, which is absolutely insane. We are well over the 100 hours at this point. Then times used, our most used thing is still diamond pickaxes with 57,000 blocks broken. Netherite is quickly coming up out there with 37,000, and then shovels at 26,400, and then dirt is just behind that. That's a lot of dirt placed. Holy cow. And yes, just to confirm, obsidian mined 3,485. But there we have it, my friends. Be sure to subscribe here to fWhip 2 if you have not already. I would love to get this channel to 100,000 subs, so thank you all so very much for the support on helping me get there. Leave a like if you did enjoy, and if you want to see some regular world tours, maybe every 10 episodes or so here on the second channel, let me know down in the comments as well. And what's your favorite thing been in this world, and what are you looking forward to me doing the most? But with that, my friends, thank you so very much for watching, and I'll catch y'all on the fWhip side.